The ref didn't see that either.
No.
The drop kick takes down Keith Lee. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The arrival. Can Kester do it? And the mic drop. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
This is Christian Rose, Old Evil, That Damn Coyote, Moonshine, Illinois' favorite son, The Truth, The Bitter Lunatic, a man with so many nicknames even I can't remember them all, proudly representing those damn Coyotes, King in the Valley, and you are listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following Sit Down Marks podcast is set for one fall. Introducing first, your heel host that is always helping to spread the good word of wrestling, Dirty Bird. Next up, the co-host from the land of the rattlesnake, Mr. Team Extreme, editor and producer, Primo. And finally, your co-host, straight out of your mama's kitchen, driver of the grip wagon, straight off a cliff, assistant editor and producer, AJ.
What is up, everybody? Friends, family, Marks, everybody, let's get together. Let's talk a little wrestling. It's episode number 83 of the Sit Down Marks podcast. Thank you so much, TW Ward, as usual, the voice of Memphis Wrestling, for bringing us in every week. Thank you so much. Let me introduce today's panel here for you. First off, the former Kurt Angle trophy, three-time former Kurt Angle trophy. That's right. Put those three fingers up in the air.
3-time.
AKA Lucha Daddy. What's going on, Primo?
Not a whole lot of man. Just episode 33. Happy to be here. Happy to
You just said
get the
33.
show rolling.
You said 33.
Huh?
You just said
Did I
33.
say 33? Sorry, I was just so excited about all the threes.
You're
But it is
50 off.
episode 83. I turned 33 this year.
Hey.
Yeah. How about that? Just like a couple months ago.
Awesome, awesome. And let me introduce to you today, we get the special privilege of having the better Harris brother on here, but he's still going to get booed customarily as we do around here. Welcome back, Michael.
You marks don't know what you like. Only I know what you like. And I'm going to give it to you. And also, considering the other brother, never challenge the undead to a buried alive match. Not a good idea.
I like it.
That's right. It must have been a winner leaves or loser leaves the pod match, and here you are. You know,
we were gonna tell you, but we didn't want to get you bogged down with bureaucracy and stuff, man. So.
Michael.
I understand that runs deep. It's very deep rooted, so it's hard to understand. So I'm gonna just let it be, man. Just let it be.
Yeah.
Good to see you, brother. Welcome back, man. You've been traveling a little bit. You moved spots on the map. So thanks for joining us.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. It was supposed to be at the last. Iron Spirit Pro show, but old age got the better of me and destroyed me. So I can't tell you, Marks, that you're wrong in person. We have to wait another month or so for that. So
that's right. Like a bunch of old men, we're talking back problems pre-pod. Right before the show.
The worst.
Oh man, yeah, but thanks for joining us, man. Yes, AJ not with us today. He's got some shoot stuff to do in real life, so he'll be back with us next week, of course, and possibly we might see him later on this week. So, but to get us kicked off here, it's been a minute. Let's listen to old Big Beef. Bring us in, Beef.
It's the Beefster here. And I'm telling you, you better turn into the Sit Down Marks podcast with AJ, Dirty Bird, and Primo. And if you don't, Beef's gonna have to hit you with that beefy bomb. Tune in, folks. They won't disappoint you.
Oh, Big Beef, man. Still getting a lot of bookings out there, man. He is killing it on the independent scene. Just getting it done out there. Been a little while since we heard from Beef.
Just dropping beefy bombs all over the country.
Yeah, absolutely. As always, from north to south and east to west, man. I think I don't think he discriminates. He'll give them to anybody, pretty much.
That's fair.
Yeah,
It's a man of the people, right there. Is what he is.
He is. Thanks everybody for listening on all the podcast platforms. You hear me say each and every week: Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google. We appreciate all the downloads. We appreciate all the attention. The pod is doing really good lately. It's crazy, Primo. I mean, we got to talk about it, man. All of a sudden, I'm not gonna I'm not tooting our own horn here by any. We're just going by analytics.
We're going by analytics.
There you go.
By analytics.
Going by Annie Lennox. Sweet dreams are made of these.
Annie Lennox.
Yes, sweet dreams are made of these. Apparently, we got some fans in Australia, a whole continent over there. Thank you to all the new people that have been downloading the pod, and especially all the new people over in Australia. Thank you guys so much for checking us out, man. We were really surprised that we were being one of the top wrestling podcasts in the whole continent, not just the nation. Right. The continent of Australia. That's kind of a big deal. Thank you guys.
Maybe it's because I put Aussie Open in my honorable mention last week.
Ooh.
Could have been.
Probably you touched them. You touched their heart, didn't you, Primo?
I did.
Just hit them with that cheap crowd pop. That's all you got there. Hit them with
it. Yeah, but yeah.
No, I mean, seriously though, thank you to everybody out there. Out there in Australia. Because, like you said, we cracked the top. I don't even remember what it was. Top 100, I think, in Australia.
Sir we did. Yes, sir, we did.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I'm just happy that you guys are listening to podcasts and not running from wild animals. So, place is dangerous.
Yeah, and I hope this pops everybody over there. But I was telling my wife about it. I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool." She goes, "Well, if you become like a celebrity in Australia, I'm not going over there," because she's seen all these big pictures of spiders. Like apparently they have huge spiders over there, and the locals and everybody there are like no big deal. But somebody like my wife who would probably choose like a spider is her worst enemy in the world. That's probably not the place for her, but hey, I'd come to Australia. Absolutely.
There are about 100 types of venomous snakes in Australia.
Well, there's all kinds of ways you can die in Australia.
Yeah, I feel like you walk 5 feet and your life is threatened. Like, I don't mean that. I don't mean that in any disrespect. I'm saying you guys are brave living over there.
Australia's awesome. It's just it's a real cool place.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, over here in the United States too, our downloads have been increasing each week. We're doing really good. So thank you again to each and everybody. And thank you guys. I hope you're listening to me. You must be telling a friend about the podcast because, people learn about it. And, we're getting a lot of reactions on our social media and stuff like that from others. And we really do appreciate it. And thank you so much. So, and before we go, absolutely, we got to thank Thomas Bryce, each and every week for playing the pod, of course. Every Friday after his show. So thank you so much, Thomas Bryce. He's always been a big supporter from the beginning, and we really do appreciate it. Primo, get us kicked off, man. It's time for that pop of the pod. Let's see what's going on.
The jukity box, baby.
Style and grace, I'm never gonna be done. Lean on in. Now welcome to the queendom. The queendom, where the kings bow down. They relinquish
Little Stephanie McMahon, little boss lady in the house.
You know what's funny is she almost landed in music class last week when I did the women's music class.
Right. Well, last week, too, apparently, Michael, you missed it by a week, man. The old jukebox picked Shayna Baszler last week.
Oh, man.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Love Shayna.
That's true. Jukebox is like on a roll with women's wrestling.
Yeah. It's had a little thing for the ladies here lately, so, which
Can't
is
blame
always a good thing. Can't blame it at all.
I love me some Shayna Baszler. She's badass as hell. I wish she would get more attention. Like, just love me some Shayna.
I agree. 100%.
I agree. Me and Primo are kind of thinking they're going to be a hell of a tag team. She's going to be a hell of a tag team with Ronda, and they're going to wreck shop for a while.
Oh my God! Let's call them the Shooters. That's just all you gotta do.
Sure.
They just ruin everyone.
Yeah, exactly. What's anyone gonna do about it? Complain?
Right.
Right. That's why I say put the titles on them. Let them keep it for like a year. You know what I mean? Or more. Don't let them be
and like we said before, like they don't have but 2-minute matches because they're legit.
Yeah.
So,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Just fucking knee bars and arm bars all over
right.
the place.
Give me that. Awesome.
You want to make me like Ronda? That's one way to do it.
I like Ronda. Like, I know she gets like shit on a lot, but like honestly, why? Like, because she shit on the fans? Well, guess what? So do most of your favorite wrestlers. I hate to break it to you.
Right, yeah.
The term mark exists for a reason. They're trimming you. That's what that comes from.
And it still comes down to the ones you like or you don't like, because the ones the ones you like, you're like, ha ha, they're shitting on the fans. And then the ones you don't like, you're like, oh, well, fuck them. They're shitting on the fans.
They're like, hey, man.
Right. Yeah, it does, man. That's... Oh,
seriously,
man.
Like Chris Jericho shits on the fans. Fucking people can't get enough of it. Ronda Rousey shits on like, how dare she? Well, fuck you.
Right. Because Chris is born and raised in wrestling all the way up, and Ronda's, she was something else first. What I think a lot of wrestling fans have problems with a lot of times. I don't understand it. It's not my, it's not me. I don't get it. You know what I mean? But to me, if you can wrestle, you can wrestle. But But if you got an MMA fighter coming over trying to do an MMA style only, just don't work. You know what I mean? We've seen it happen. You know what I mean? They have to usually get over first, and then they can go back and do that other, get it back, AKA like Shamrock. I always think about, what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. At first, everybody's like, oh no, we saw him as stiff, sloppy, and then he, started getting it, learning it, and boom, and then he started doing wrestling skills, and I started actually putting some time into the craft. And then you saw him blossom, and then he got to go back and do the chokeholds and the stuff that around that time a lot of us hadn't seen yet. The arm bars, all that kind of shit that we all know of MMA now. So it's But anyway,
I mean, plus think of all the guys that. And women that came from legitimate, like Kurt Angle. People forget that that's a legitimate shooter. Like,
right.
That dude could destroy anyone.
Chad Lesnar, Olympic wrestler.
Yeah. Chad Gable. Lesnar was like a 3-time NCAA champion. Like, and people were like, "Oh, he's a fake wrestler going to MMA." No, that's a 3-time NCAA fucking champion wrestler. That's what that is.
Yeah, he just took a detour and had fun in wrestling, but he can still go.
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong. Ronda's got some things she needs to work on. Like, her mic skills need a little bit of work. Sometimes they're like her promo is a little flat. But honestly, she can go in the ring. Like, she's good.
Right.
And pair with Shayna Baszler. Oh my god. Oh my god. How many T-shirts could I buy right now for that?
Take my money.
Just take my money, assholes.
All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am the Dirty Bird. It's time to talk about what we're going to talk about. Michael, Primo, and I are going to talk about the last week in wrestling, including Impact Wrestling's Victory Road pay-per-view results. Michael is back to chop it up with the marks and try to He's going to try to see if he can beat Primo in a game of last man standing. But the big thing today is the drop kick discussion is who we think is the top 3 best wrestlers in the world right now. Who are the top 3 that are the complete package in professional wrestling right now? We're going to talk about that. We're going to debate that. AJ has sent us his top 3, so we'll be talking about his choices there too. So give it to us, Primo. You ready to kick it off, man? Let's do it.
This is Levi Cooper.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins.
This is Big Beef.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw, and you're listening.
You're listening
to the Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
All right, so this Saturday, the Sit Down Marks podcast is sponsoring the professional wrestling show from Zawa. It's called Who Do You Think You Are? I Am. It's a quote from a movie, I believe, something like that. I'm not quite sure where that was picked up from, but it's just a funny name for a card. But it's going down this Saturday, 6 o'clock, Sterling, Illinois, at the Moose Lodge, Zawa Wrestling. I believe it's the last Sterling show of the year. AJ is supposed to let me know, but we're going to try to be there this weekend, hopefully to be there in person. I know our next show would definitely be is I think what will be the 6-year anniversary of Zawa Live, November the 19th. But a lot of good matches going down this weekend, but one in particular is we got a big feud starting between Hartenbauer and Mr. Havens, who is just Havens now. He's been kind of on a nasty little run here in the last 6 to 8 months. So I'm sure that's going to be the main event. And I am super intrigued by this match to see how this goes. Havens begged him for a shot at the title a while back because he kind of brought up Hartenbauer's beginning of wrestling, so to speak. He said he basically gave him the spear, taught him the spear, that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a cool little card out there this weekend. So if you're in Sterling, Illinois, in the area, come check it out. So, all right, guys, let's talk about it, man. What'd you guys think about Jericho taking the ROH title off of Claudio? All right, Michael, I'm letting you go first because you're kind of fans of both of these guys, so what do you think about that?
So here's I don't like it, and here's why. Claudio finally gets a chance to be on top somewhere else. The dude's got all the talent in the world.
Sure.
His first title defense, he loses that belt. He's got the fans behind him. He's got all the ability. He can wrestle any style. He can especially wrestle I guess what do I want to call it? Like the traditional ROH style, where it's more of a hard-hitting modern style. He can do a promo. Like, the fans love him. He's got charisma. And what do?
Sure.
They take his belt off of him. It's like, oh my God. So I'm just having flashbacks to WWE, Cesaro. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to reserve judgment on it overall. I initially don't like it, but I'm going to say this. I'm going to reserve judgment because, I don't know what Tony Khan has planned for Claudio. The dude should be a champion somewhere, because I can think of maybe 1 or 2 other people that deserve that belt more than Claudio. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. But Jericho,
it's always a safe call. It's always a safe call with Jericho, right?
Yeah, he's a big name. I get it, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you're 50 years old, man. Your time is done. You need to start shining these new talents.
Yeah. Do you think they did it just to put ROH on his resume?
Oh yeah, definitely. like, don't get me wrong, I like Jericho.
Sure.
I'm liking him a lot less as more and more AEW goes in front of my eyes because I just see him way too much. And I don't like how he's worked with some of the newer talent. I don't like the feud with MJF. I don't like the feud with Kingston. I don't know. It's just I need a break from Chris. I need a break. Like I love you, man, but like, can you please get out of my face for like 6 months? Like go do it. Go do a tour. Go do another cruise. Just give me some peace, man. Like I love you, buddy, but like we're too close.
That's fair. What did you think, Primo?
Well, I like both these guys.
Sure.
I was indifferent. I didn't care one way or the other. I figured they were going to do it because it was one Chris Jericho didn't have. One thing I didn't mention before that I meant to mention this whole time when they started the World Championship tournament was how I like how they're mentioning everyone's World Championships.
Yes.
Like collective World Championships.
Right.
That's pretty cool. Because like in WWE, those don't exist. So these guys, like they're saying, like Bryan Danielson was 6-time or whatever. I don't remember what it was, but and this is Jericho's. He called it the Ocho.
Yep.
And it was the one that he didn't have on his list. So I mean, there was a couple reasons there why it really doesn't bother me. I personally don't think he'll have it for very long either way.
Right.
And I think it was a way maybe for them to, I don't know, maybe for them to take it off of Claudio without making Claudio look one way or the other.
Sure.
And Claudio could move on or go win it back. I mean, at this point, like, do you need to give it back to Claudio? I don't think it would be very good storytelling to give it back to him. So, I don't know. I don't know. My question would be, who is next to hold it?
Sure.
Who does Jericho drop it to? Like, obviously, Jericho's a transition champion.
Yeah. He doesn't scream ROH champ.
Yeah.
With that. I don't know. I'd like to see somebody like an Ethan Page with it. I think he, not necessarily an ROH guy, but maybe a guy that might could put a little bit of different stank on it because he's so good on the mic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
also,
he's kind of in that faction of the
the
firm.
Jericho, is doing the whole sports entertainer gimmick. So, which really like is totally shits on ROH.
Right.
So that's another factor that he can play on.
Yeah.
And it may bring some ROH wrestlers out of the woodworks to challenge him. Might get some good matches out of it.
Right. Yeah. True.
But yeah, I was not like, I kind of saw it happening. So I was just like, okay. Like, I was like, I wasn't like, oh shit, another Jericho title. And I wasn't like, oh man, Claudio lost. Like it really invoked almost no emotion out of me.
That's like the worst possible scenario.
Yeah. Like I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah. I was like, I guess we'll see what's next.
You probably would have been swerved more had Claudio kept
right.
it and pinned him clean. You know what I mean? Like that would have been like all right. You know what I mean? But yeah. So anyway, moving on. As you heard at the top of the show, big pop for the Acclaimed. They are now the new AEW Tag Team Champions. What do you guys think about this?
Man,
it was inevitable.
There's a reason I put that in the intro, and you could barely hear anything else but the crowd. Those dudes, the pop they got, number one when they came out, but number two when they won, the crowd was going fucking bonkers. And it was cool.
Yeah,
it was cool. It was a really cool moment and good for those guys, and happy for them.
Yeah, like they're completely over. They should have been, because this is their second showing with Swerve and Keith Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have won it the first time, like because the crowd was ready for it then, and they were hot for it, and like, it was a good match. I thought Caster actually messed his knee up coming off that top rope.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Old man got him again.
I think I just actually fucked my shoulder.
Would you sneeze too hard or something?
I reached behind my back too far.
No, man. Gotta stretch you at least 10 minutes before you try that stuff at our age, all right?
You start taking some ibuprofen before the show.
Aren't they AEW homegrown too?
Yes, as far as I know.
Yeah. I haven't seen Caster or anywhere else, so yeah.
And they're both from up in that area where Arthur Ashe was, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was kind of cool. What I was thought is as part of the rap when they came out. I don't know if you guys caught this or not, but Max Caster said, "You guys' name should be called Swerve in My Glory Hole."
Yeah, that was
a good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I actually like the you look like a 2-liter and a 20-ounce like bottle of Pepsi. That was really good.
Right.
That was a good line.
But probably not even the worst crack of the night was when MJF came out and he called them the Blackpool Cuckold Club.
Oh yeah.
I was like, whoa, he just said that on live TV. I was like, man, he is killing everybody.
MJF. He's like,
devil has arrived.
Maybe we can teach you how to take some more pills and slap.
Yeah.
It keeps referencing Mox. You think that's going to be Mox's next kind of big rival to probably take the title, MJF? I mean, they got to eventually put the title on him.
Well, let's talk about that first. Let's rewind. Let's talk about Mox and Danielson.
Boy.
I mean, we talked about it before the pod.
Sure.
I said I did want Mox to win.
You did.
Or last week's pod, mind you.
Right. Me and AJ were on.
Yeah, clearly you guys were on Bryan Danielson. No, and not that I don't like Danielson.
Right.
I felt fucking slighted by the whole Mox's run, his run that he got freaking screwed out of basically recently. I just felt like, I felt like a wrong needed to be corrected.
Sure.
And he didn't get. I mean, obviously he was supposed to go on vacation and all that jazz, but the dude, honestly, they say he's the heart and soul or whatever of AEW, but I mean, come on. I mean, it's right there. Like he's just rocked AEW since the first Double or Nothing.
Yeah, when he came in.
So, but no, I was cool with it. I actually was surprised. That's one where I was like, oh, because I was like, oh, well, Danielson's going to win. That's what everybody wants. That's what my opinion was going into it. And I was cool with it. I had already made my peace with it. And because I was like, if Danielson gets it, cool. I like Danielson. I never said I didn't like him.
Right.
But I just not what I wanted at that moment in time. As a fan, I was being a selfish fan, and as we're all entitled to be. But I was cool with it. Honestly, in my opinion, I was cool with it. I know a lot of people were like, "What the fuck?" Because Danielson was, I guess, in their eyes, probably supposed to get it. So,
yeah, just seemed timing was right. Just seemed like it was going to be his time.
And that's another thing I had about that is like, if not now, then when for Danielson?
Yeah. I don't know if let's say MJF takes the belt off Moxley.
Right.
MJF holds it for a while. They could do a hell of a feud with Bryan and MJF or Daniel.
And they haven't really talked about it lately because of the whole tournament style that got them here. But at the end of the day, AEW is about wins and losses.
Sure.
So that's losses on Bryan's record.
Well, Bryan's been beaten into the earth lately. Like Bryan can't win a match to save his life right now.
Sure. Could be part of the story.
I cannot understand why you would take a guy like Bryan Danielson, who is super over, has all the ability in the world, and you just don't do anything with him. Like he can't promote for your company as a guy who's just getting beaten all the time. He got stuck in the Blackpool Combat Club, which okay, but he was doing great heel work before that. So why do that? I don't know. Like Moxley, I don't like Moxley's matches. They're all the same thing to me. Start in the ring, brawl outside, bleed, the end.
Yeah, that's
Like
fair.
it's the same match he's been having
Yeah.
forever, ever since CZW.
He has a formula. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like once you've seen it, it's like okay,
Right.
here comes then the like where are the elbows coming and like the stand and trade punches and like just goddamn it, like I've seen too many Moxley matches. Another guy I could take, like, dude, go on your vacation. I need a vacation from you.
Yeah. I mean, he was going to be gone.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that really bothered me about it, I guess, is that Danielson is creative in his matches. He can come up with different matches, different styles depending on who he's fighting.
Sure.
Moxley has the same match over and over, no matter who is across the ring from him. Brawl the outside, trade crappy-looking forearms and punches in the middle of the ring, bleed everywhere, and then go home. That's what the match is.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that, especially like it's kind of the same thing. It's just like how extreme he gets or not, if it's dialed up or dialed back. But you know,
I mean, honestly, I think like hardcore wrestling is fucking gross. I think it's gross because like it doesn't take really a lot of skill to cut yourself up with fucking glass tubes and barbed wire and shit. Like anyone can do that, and we've seen that in like every backyard wrestling YouTube video you've ever seen. Any like schlub can put on a pair of like mesh shorts and say they're a wrestler.
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson, however, has honed his craft over a long, long period of time. So like, I see what they're doing. I get it, but like,
sure.
I don't understand what they're doing with Danielson at all. I don't get it at all.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think, why sign him if you didn't plan on putting the belt on him at some point? So, you know what I mean? And I just don't see him joining a company and be like, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. You don't say that to his kind of talent. You know what I mean? You don't. You sign this guy because you think you're going to put the title on him eventually.
And I don't think that he will. And I don't think that's out of the question here. I know I said it's about wins and losses, but he will have the title on him at some point. There's no doubt about that. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Maybe they're trying. I don't know what they're trying to do with him, honestly. I don't know. It's
we'll see.
They can't recreate his run from WrestleMania 30, because that was completely against the authority type deal. And but I don't know. We'll see. Like you said, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see if they put him on a program with. We're not gonna put him on a Wardlow program, I don't think, but they could put him on like a Pac program for that All Atlantic title or something like that. You know what I mean? And if that kind of stuff happens, then we're kind of like, all right, cool. Well, they're going to put him on the side burner here for a while. But if he kind of stays without a title for a while, I don't know. Maybe they kind of going to let him kind of wait in the wings and see how everything else plays out.
Yeah. And he's going to have a program with Orange Cassidy, and it's going to be competitive for God knows what reason.
Sure.
And then he's going to have to fight the entire Dark Order again. And
yeah.
Oh, God.
All right. So we had two different debuts in AEW this week. Let's start with the smaller of the two. The Great Muta. I popped because I watched a lot of Sting Great Muta matches. I'm old enough to be to know Muta in WCW, NWA, that kind of stuff. So this was pretty cool and kind of out of left field, and I don't think a lot of people really kind of maybe knew who he was till he took the
even
thing he had on.
Then they probably didn't know who the hell he was. Like Muta and Sting, like you got to really know your old school wrestling to get this shit. Like,
yeah, you got to be in your 40s like me probably, and a wrestling fan to know at least. I don't. You got to know your history here.
Well, also, the guy that stole his gimmick of the Mist is now gone from AEW.
Right. Well,
That would have been the
Muda
perfect...
stole it from the great Kabuki anyway. Kabuki did it first.
Yeah, that's true. But,
Yeah.
Muda, is known for it, though.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But yes. If you guys haven't ever seen Sting and Muda, go back. Go back in time.
Yeah, I think... I believe it was the rivalry with Sting. Clash of Champions, I think, was one of the big matches. He did tons of stipulation matches, and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was watching Muda too because I always remember my dad used to tell me, be like, even when we were watching the Great Kabuki too, be like, watch, if they don't open their mouth, they're going to be spitting something out. You know what I mean? So, so Muda come out and I was watching Muda. It was like, yep, he's got his mouth closed. He ain't opened it yet, and then sure enough, he spit it out, man. I was like, and then, that was cool. But on the bigger side, big pop here, speculation, I guess, kind of, if she was going to come back. And we still don't really know her role, but Paige, formerly known as Paige, WWE. This is where AJ would say, Paige, yeah. Saraya makes her AEW debut. This was a big pop.
Old Saraya Bevins. Yep. Why are you hiring Saraya Bevins? Has a widely known debilitating injury. She looked like she had new gear on. There's no way they put her in a ring. There's no way, right? Right?
I mean she's... Go ahead, Primo.
I was going to say, I agree with you on that, Michael. I feel like, one bump away and she could be in danger.
She collapsed and couldn't move off a double foot tap from Sasha in a house show. She's oh my God. Everything you see her in is going to be just ass-clenchingly terrifying.
Well, I'm sure she probably had to get clearance from some doctors, right?
If she's wrestling. I mean, I don't know. That just...
yeah. I guess we don't.
It's
really
a hard one. It's a hard one. Yeah.
Think of all this shit they should be talking these AEW wrestlers out of. Who's the one who just damn near broke their neck by doing a bump off the apron? It was Hart. It was Hart. She took a bump and supposed to go through the table, then just flew backwards.
Yeah.
It was 2 inches away from destroying her head on the railing. And it's right. And then Britt Baker just had her nose destroyed because of an ill-conceived spot. Again, exactly.
Yeah.
Same match before she debuts.
Right.
Honestly, AEW is terrifying to me right now. Because as Dusty Rhodes would say, they're doing a bunch of shit they don't know how to do, baby. Don't do shit you don't know how to do.
I think Kurt Angle just said it's like the Wild West or something like that.
Oh my God.
He did say that,
yeah.
Well, also too, it makes me wonder because when she got in the ring, everybody got out of the ring. So there was no contact. So maybe, I guess we'll see. It's all hearsay until we figure it out and she comes out and says what her role will be.
It's true.
Well, let's say she is cleared to wrestle. Why the hell would Triple H let her get away? She would just draw money. Why would Triple H let her get away if she's cleared?
I don't know. Maybe what wasn't good enough for WWE to let her wrestle is good enough for AEW to let her wrestle. I don't know. Oh.
The moment she goes near a piece of furniture, which seems to happen in every single AEW match. First of all, Tony, enough with the goddamn tables, okay? Stop it. Stop it.
He loves him some tables, too.
Look like a goddamn clown show.
He does.
And,
we got to go ahead.
Man, just keep her away from furniture and from the ring and any sharp objects, anything. Just has a microphone. That's it.
So, all right. So we got to see Hook. Hook.
Send Hook!
Yeah, he showed up. So I'm thinking, okay, quickly, let's talk about this. Hook, I think he's going to just hold that belt forever. And like it's just going to get retired. I don't see him like losing it. Anybody pinning him for it. I think this is a good way for it to take it away. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
Yeah, it seems like a good spot for it. But I mean, not that any of us are taking it seriously anyway. But I was just kind of thinking that this would be a good time to retire it, maybe bring it back or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. But what about Ricky Starks and Hobbs, man? This was an awesome match. Holy shit. Starks took fucking a lot of damage in this. Big win for Starks. They had to get him back, put him back on top. Revenge from the loss at the last pay-per-view, right?
What he needed.
And, yeah. This is another guy, I mean, that could, be the champ.
He's the one that can be chasing the mid-card titles right now.
I like how you said titles because there's so goddamn many of them. Going back to Hook, I forgot he had a belt because I just can't keep track of him anymore.
Sure. Yes, FTW. So it's like a.
It's like the $1 million belt, yeah. But
I
still,
never.
It's like when your dad awards you a black belt as your karate teacher. You're probably more like a brown.
Shit, it's not even that cool. I give the FTW belt like zero clout.
Yeah,
that's like there's too many belts.
It's literally a made up belt.
Yeah. Like, can you guys name all the belts in AEW right now?
Yes.
No.
Do it.
Heavyweight, women's heavyweight, TNT, TBS, All Atlantic, Trios, Tag Team.
You've got the ROH title, so no, you can't.
I mean, I didn't say the ROH ones.
Oh, so you failed.
Okay, ROH heavyweight, TV.
It's too late. It's too late.
And
You're already down, my man. Already down.
That's another thing too. It's like I saw people saying stuff like, "Just let ROH go." Like,
is he going to try to bring it back as its own promotion? Like, I thought that was like the rumor. He was wanting to start a sister company that was separate from AEW.
Yeah, put it on like a different night. Yeah,
that'd be cool. But if he's going to do it, can you fucking do it?
I don't know.
Like, you got all these ROH titles just floating around, and we're just like, okay. That's probably why I don't care about the ROH title. Like,
do you care about the Trios title at all?
Yes, you asked the wrong person about that. I actually
have
been rallying for I've been rallying for those titles since like AEW, since this pod started. That's for sure.
Why?
Yes, exactly. Tell him. I was like, Michael's a purist. He don't want.
I just enjoy it. I just enjoy it.
No. You are on a wrestling analysis podcast, sir. Explain it to me.
It's a wrestling analytics.
Explain.
Go on. I'm listening.
I've just liked. This is the one. And what's funny is the one trio that I wanted to get the trios championships was Death Triangle, and they got it. That was the one way back when. I don't know. I've never minded it. Like, it's just it seems like it's another thing to me that I just like it. I don't know how to explain. I like tag team wrestling. I like the trios thing. Doesn't
all right, now check this out. Hey, Dirty, why do you like Ric Flair?
Because he's a dirty heel. Because he's a dirty heel. He's actually from Minnesota. He is
actually from Minnesota.
Because he's a dirty heel, greatest of all time, dirty tactics, no flippy, original kind of wrestler.
Oldest ride, longest line.
Yeah.
Like look at that. He can explain why he likes what he likes. That's crazy, isn't it?
I just like what I like.
All right, you guys got anything else before we move on to Impact?
Trio sucks. The end.
They do. All right, so before we get to Victory Road results, hell of a bump from PCO onto that bed of chairs during his match on Impact. I'm like, God darn, this dude is still taking some crazy ass
fucking Frankenstein.
Yeah, he is. He's nuts. But Aussie Open, man, they're having some hot ass matches lately. Their match against Motor City Machine Guns was fucking stellar. It was like,
oh my god, yeah,
it was so good, man. They
Machine Guns are
gelled
fucking
too.
incredible. They're so good. They can work with anybody. Like they're so good.
I feel like they're better now than they ever were for whatever reason.
Yeah, like
this time that they've reunited, they split.
Mhm.
This time just seems different. I don't know, man. It's just I don't know. It's like they're.
It's seriously like they're working way more like high level and like now than when they were in like the early 2000s.
Yeah, I mean at this point they're like
crazy.
They're at legend status in their careers.
Oh yeah, they're so goddamn good. They're so good.
Let's talk Victory Road, Primo.
Victory Road. Speaking of Motor City Machine Guns, let's go ahead and throw this one on there because it wasn't on the card last week when I announced them. But Vincent and PCO versus the Motor City Machine Guns, and of course, Motor City won.
Right.
Yeah.
Moving on to the picks that we did choose, we had Heath, Rich Swann, and Josh Alexander versus Honor No More, which consisted of Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, and Eddie Edwards.
OGK.
Yep. All three of us picked against Honor No More, and all three of us were wrong. Honor No More won. Next up, we had Giselle Shaw versus none other than
Hardcore Country
James. And the last radio lives on as Mickey James wins. We all called that. We saw that coming.
And still has a career.
That's right. And still, when she loses, she goes home.
Yeah.
And nobody's making her do it. It's her words.
Right.
She's
got a big match coming up against somebody here.
Next time I lose, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
X Division Championship, Speedball Mike Bailey versus Delirious. You and me, DB, both called Mike Bailey. AJ called Delirious, and the winner was Speedball Mike Bailey.
I found out he just got married to Veda Scott, too, about 4 months ago.
Yeah, I know. I announced it on this podcast.
Congrats to them.
Like the day it happened.
You did. Maybe that was the one I was listening to the other day then.
May have been.
I'll occasionally listen to a random one back from ours.
I don't know where I heard this from, but rumor has it they just got married recently.
Yeah.
Go back about 25 episodes.
Yeah, congrats to them.
Anyway, we had the Triple Threat Revolver winner. We were the winner challenges for the X Division title at Bound for Glory. The competitors. They're not contestants, they're competitors. Mia Yim versus Kenny King versus Black Taurus versus Alex Zane versus Trey McGill versus Laredo Kid versus Frankie Kazarian. Well, DB took Kenny King. I took Black Taurus, and AJ was correct with his pick of Frankie Kazarian.
Kazarian, yeah. Nice. I like
How about
that.
All three of us.
Guys.
Okay. No, only me and you took Jacked Grace in this next matchup where Jacked Grace defeated Max the Impaler. AJ picked Max, and he was incorrect. What was he thinking? And finally, in the barbed wire massacre.
All right.
Between Death Machine Sammy Callahan versus Moose versus
you guys go ahead.
Steve Macklin.
Did you guys like Sammy's tribute? His outfit that he had on was a tribute
I didn't
to
watch this match.
Cactus Jack.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, he had the Cactus Jack shirt on with the red flannel.
Took me a second. That was like last week. So
it was a while back. Yeah, it was a while back.
So all three of us.
Did he do that?
Bang bang. Yeah, all three of us.
Bang bang.
Sammy Callahan. Well, all three of us were incorrect because Steve Macklin won.
Right, swerve.
Right. And that was your Victory Road card. Next week is Bound for Glory.
Right. Yeah. Should have known nothing big was going to happen on this one. Like,
when did they stop doing the points thing where you do get to earn points to get to BFG?
Oh, that was a while ago. They stopped.
That was cool when they did that.
Yeah, because the whole point of Victory Road was like, you had to earn your way there.
Right,
Like,
right.
you're on the road.
To victory.
Get it together, Impact.
But yeah, that was
TNA.
Victory Road. And that's all I got for Impact Wrestling, baby. And we can move on to the WWE.
Yeah, speaking of, I was thinking about this. So, Roman come out like first thing on SmackDown this week. Like, like nobody
Acknowledge me.
That's what
Right.
it came out like.
I'll say this about Roman. Roman's the only like champ walking to the ring like a fucking boss. I mean, he just walks out like, just like he just, obviously just. I mean, he looks like he exactly should and carries himself for this role. But I thought this was fucking great TV when they were acting like they were going to kick Sammy out of the bloodline. And then,
And Sammy looked like he was going to cry.
Yeah, he did. And Jay's going nuts, going, get out of here. Get
Fucking
out.
Jay,
Take that
stop
shirt
being
off.
mean to Sammy.
Take that shirt off, right? Yeah, and then so he rips it off of him. And then, Roman throws him a shirt that says, I got you a new one. And it says SZ honorary Oos on it. And then, like, my first reaction was like, I watched Jay, and Jay was like, man, come on.
He's
and
like,
Jimmy's
fucking stink face.
Yeah, Jimmy's loving it. They're doing their secret handshake.
That's the best part to me.
It was. But this segment was fucking gold, though. Like, it really was. It really was. And, like, just, the inner story of Jay hating it is awesome on top of Sammy's inner story of the bloodline. It's good.
Yeah. So I mentioned that in my little notes here too, that about Sammy getting that honorary Oos shirt, and I just said, you know what? Those shirts are gonna fucking sell like hotcakes. Dude.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Everybody's gonna want to be an honorary Oos.
We the ones.
That's right.
Yeah, and they got the new We the Ones too.
Well, also that's how they planted how the angle ends. Like, it's gonna be over Sami Zayn. Like, that's how they put the seed in there. Like, when this faction breaks, it's gonna be because of this. And so it's just long-term storytelling, long-term booking. Good job. Well done. I like it.
You think it'll be because of that, or they'll boot Sammy because he's getting more over than them?
Oh, well, the Usos have already gone at each other over the whole bloodline thing. Yeah. So I think they're going to do a callback to that over Sami Zayn. Could be wrong. Open to seeing what happens with it, but like the bloodline's like the only thing in WWE I give a crap about right now.
It cracks me up because Jimmy's always like, "Come on, man, leave Sammy alone. Be nice."
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing too is like I can see him doing like a there's a snake within the inside leaking information or something like that, and then pointing it to Sammy and something like that. I could see that going too. But moving on from that, I want to mention this. Okay, I don't know if you guys have picked this up, but this is twice now that Michael Cole has mentioned heavy machinery. You think they're putting? You think they might be giving our boy Tucker Levi Cooper a call?
Honestly,
you know what I mean? Like,
he was a Triple H guy. Like, there's not a lot of guys coming back.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, they've been shining notice a bit with he just slammed Strowman. Like, I disagree with that decision completely.
Right.
But they're trying to shine him up. So yeah, they mentioned heavy machinery.
He's taken the powerbomb twice now from Braun, so I guess he had to get something a little bit in, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, but why specifically Otis though? You know what I mean?
Like, sure.
Triple H he's a sharp dude. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to tell a story. He knows wrestling. Yeah. And like, Otis taking that bomb twice after slamming Strowman. That seems like it's leading to something, especially with Cole foreshadowing that. Because like, why mention heavy machinery if you're not going to do something with it? Like,
yeah, and he said it again yesterday when both of them went. Otis did a move or something like that, and Michael was like, "Oh, well, I have heavy machinery," something like that, because and this might just be me looking into it too, but I feel like Otis is starting to do a little bit of the twitches and the oh yeah, again like he used to do when he was in their heavy machinery mode.
Notice he's starting to get a bit more like, scruff on the face, like he's maybe growing a longer beard again.
Right. Yeah. We could see it forming here, so we'll pay attention. But are you guys interested at all in a Drew McIntyre Karrion Kross strap match?
I don't see why they're going straight to the gimmicks. Why is it always the first thing these guys do now is go straight to the gimmick match? Like, the gimmick match is supposed to be, well, shit, we can't settle this in a regular match. Let's have a fucking cage or a strap.
Right.
And we're like a bull rope or something. Like, that's their first move anymore. Like,
Drew's playing it like so Karrion can't run from him, but, I mean, we all know it's not. He's just putting his hand through a hoop. So, you know what I mean? Like, so.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, I don't know. But I guess because maybe it's Extreme Rules. I mean, I guess is the reason why they're going to the gimmick, but
it's gotta be the only reason, really.
They need to abolish that pay-per-view completely.
I like gimmicks and all that shit, but even I'm like, what?
Yeah. Like, shit. Why?
How many matches has Karrion had since he's returned?
Couple squash.
I was gonna say 2.
Yeah.
On SmackDown.
Yeah, a couple squash, and the rest of them have been ambushed.
And why are they? He's this sinister stalking guy. He's stalking Drew.
Yeah.
So why is he supposed to be scared and running away?
See, that's you know what, man? You're pointing out the exact things that go through my head when I watch wrestling anymore. The question why flashes like 1,000 times.
Like, that's what I was thinking when he was like whipping him with the belt or whatever. I was like, okay, but isn't it supposed to be like the other way around? But they're not going to make Drew like a coward because that's just not in his character. So,
right.
Why even have the match then? Like,
right, they just go beat the shit out of each other like it's Drew and Sheamus or Sheamus and Gunther. Like, they'll do that.
Right.
And that's totally fine. You don't need a strap for that.
Right.
Like, have it under the ring or something. Like, do like they did with Rollins and Cody at Hell in a Cell. Like, just there's a rope for reasons. There's too many fucking gimmick matches. Like, they don't make any sense. They're supposed to be your payoff money matches.
Right.
You can't start the feud with the end of the feud. That makes no goddamn sense.
I tell you what was annoying, though. The first 30 minutes of Raw was this continuing Damage Control versus Bianca, Alexa, Asuka. Once, you know what I mean? Like, they talked, and then they had a match. Yes, and here we are again. I'm like, oh, God, man. But I don't know. I wasn't annoyed with as much as I thought Gargano's trunks were fucking hideous.
You just don't like Gargano.
I agree with Dirty on this one.
Leave the man alone.
I don't like Gargano. I agree with Dirty on this one.
Those are like underoos, dude. And he's going like his mommy's putting him to bed in those. His mommy's putting him to bed in those. Those are fucking horrible.
I don't get the hype around this guy.
Thank you.
He's like a 6 out of 10. And people like treat him like he's the second coming of like Christ. I don't get it. Like,
you preaching to the choir here, man. Like a hallelujah over here.
I did like their tag team chemistry between KO and Gargano. Some of their tag team maneuvers. That was fun to watch. But I mean, if I never saw them tag again, that'd be okay too.
Honestly, let me ask you guys something here, because I've been noticing something with Kevin recently. Is he just doing the same like shit over and over and over now? And has he been doing that for a while, or is it just my imagination?
I mean, he's kind of back to doing the prize fighter gimmick, but I kind of feel like he's always kind of been the same. It's just whether it's been turned up a notch or so. Like the prize fighters, like, kind of the more asshole, shitting on people on the mic and, whooping ass a little more than, but that's, I don't know, kind of last couple of months. But I really feel like his gimmick don't really ever change.
Yeah, like I like Kevin Owens.
Definitely.
I like his matches. They're getting kind of repetitive and stale. Like I need to see Kevin Owens refreshed. I need a refresh for the guy.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't mind seeing like a program with someone. Let's say he does a program with Gargano, for example. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but like,
right.
And the payoff is like I don't know. Owens like fucking blows his knee out, and he's got to rehab for like 3 months. So that way, like, you could, like, freshen him up a bit. Like, come up with something new for the guy to do. Besides, like, I'm an asshole. I'm going to punch you, then powerbomb you. And,
right.
All right. And then what?
Almost is still, like, squashing, like, local guys. Is this like and is this like a lead up to maybe him and Strowman? Possibly?
Yeah, I was going to say, they literally mentioned... I think it was Corey. Which, by the way, Corey had me laughing so hard at one point because I don't remember exactly what it was, but the third guy, not Byron, but the other guy, I can't remember his name.
Michael Smith or something.
But he said something, and Corey's like,
Jimmy Smith.
He's like, yeah, I just said that.
Right.
But anyway, no, that Corey literally said something about how, Braun might be the monster of all the monsters, but what's his face almost is a Colossus. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, okay, well,
he's a Colossus who can't do anything.
Yeah, like I just don't. I was just wondering last week, and what's funny is these guys have actually been on TV like every week for like the last month, and I was like, man, when's the last time I saw MVP? And I was like, oh yeah, he does come out with fucking almost.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, also like the big problem with like the monster matches, right? Like the big dudes is like just by their nature, from their size, there's not a whole lot they can do. They might be strong as hell, but like when it comes to like professional wrestling, like even like your best big men only had a couple things they could really do.
Yeah.
Like, Vader, Andre, like, they could be intimidating and have squash matches, but if they actually have to have a match like against another big guy, holy shit. Like terrible.
Yeah. And then Edge returned, again. They beat him. He stays for a while. They beat him up. He returns. All that kind of stuff. So, and then Candice LeRae too. They were in Canada, I believe, and she made her debut. So she got a pretty decent little pop there. So, did you see Braun Breaker do Steiner math on NXT last night?
No, I missed this. Did he actually do the whole like thing?
No, he just kind of alluded to it because he's triple threat match, him versus Ilya Dragunov and JD McDonough. And so he grabs the mic and they're talking to each other. So it's going to be a triple threat match. He goes, so they're talking about I'm going to win, yada yada. And he grabs the mic. So he goes, so well, the way I see it, if I did my math correctly, you guys have 33 and a third chance of winning the match. Yeah, it kind of popped the crowd. That was funny.
God damn it! That is how you lean into it. Like, good job. I
thought it was too.
I like Braun Breaker a lot. I don't know why they didn't just say, "Go be a Steiner." Like, go be a Steiner. Everyone, you look exactly like a Steiner.
Sure.
They even gave him like jocks that are like they're old like collegiate jocks. Like, so I don't know why they just don't lean into it harder. Like, it's not like the Steiners aren't one of the most beloved tag teams of all times or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, I know, right? Especially, they're probably a little more known now because now that Braun's kind of in the spotlight, people are probably looking up like, oh, who was their daddy? If they didn't know, or if they did kind of know, and or like if my dad was here, he was a big Rick Steiner guy, and always loved Rick Steiner's gimmick. He'd be barking, when he came out and that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So he would be, cool in seeing him. So But yeah, that was cool. Did you guys get a chance to see Sol Ruka, who made her debut? She's got like this surfer girl gimmick. She's athletic as shit, like big time.
I didn't see this.
Yeah,
I kind of skipped over NXT. Like I don't know, it just hasn't really like excited me. It hasn't titillated me recently.
Kind of
hasn't given me the undertickles.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for the full changeover or the go back to what it used to be. Or
what I did? You know what I did see though?
What did you see?
I saw that Ultimate Diva bullshit.
Quincy Miller?
That fucking guy. I saw that. I was like, I'm done for a little bit. I need to not watch this for a while. Yeah, I saw that. Wow, that is something they did post Vince. Jesus Christ. Isn't Shawn Michaels in charge of NXT now?
Yeah, he's pretty much running it. Yeah,
and that's what he's like. You know what's gonna just draw money, Quincy. So okay, I'm an old broken down man anymore. I couldn't whip anybody in a fight. I'm pretty sure I'm more athletic than Quincy. Pretty sure.
I don't know. The jury might still be out. It might be athletic like Bam Bam was.
Oh no,
kind of
no.
that size. But you don't have to be. Look at Viscera. Look how long Viscera made it.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have. Like,
no, well, we all know that. Yeah.
Hey, that's Vader time for sure. That's Vader time, baby.
Yeah, Big Daddy V. I only really had 2 notes from NXT, which was one, Cider Math.
Yeah.
You just taught, yeah. So, and then the triple threat at Halloween Havoc, cool. But more so was more like a future forecasting for me. Basically was so Ilya mentioned taking the UK title off of Gunther way back whenever that was. Basically, what I said here was, I'm ready for the day when Ilya surprises Gunther and appears on the main roster, and Gunther gets like scared as shit as if he's seen a ghost of his past.
Mm-hmm.
Like it writes itself. Also,
maybe he goes on a long winning streak, and then Ilya shows up, and he's like,
he's like, oh fuck, the one guy. It's like his kryptonite. And I was also like, as I was watching through the show, besides Mandy, because she's already been there, I was just like, or anybody else that's already been on the main roster, I was like, really nobody else on this roster could really be like, they're not ready yet, in my opinion.
On NXT?
Yeah, for the main roster.
I think Grayson Waller is. He's probably my one that I think is ready for main roster.
I don't. I really don't. I think he's great, and I think he can talk, and I think he's athletic as fuck.
Okay, but what else do you
want? Time. That's the other part of it. Time and service, man.
I mean, yeah, I think he's ready right now. I mean, he's kind of flashy. He's, he'll probably draw a lot of. Where's he from? New Zealand.
Voila.
Main roster. Yeah, I think I think he's ready. I'd like
when he does go, I think he'll be great. But I just think he needs to have some trials and tribulations to show that he can make it through that first. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I don't know
as far as on the NXT, not real life shit, but I'm talking about like, what if he goes to the main roster and immediately flounders? Like, how's he going to handle that? Because he's a young dude. He's young. So
that depends on booking. They could have done that to anybody.
Right, that's true.
I mean, they did almost kill Bayley as a babyface when she went to the main roster.
Right.
Sure.
So it's like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think he will eventually one day be great on the main roster, but I feel like he's very young in his career.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So it's like you're going to go to the main roster of the big time, and like you're going to go play for the NFL, but you barely got into high school.
Right. Like Austin Theory.
Theory's young as hell, but like
Theory used to be Evolve champion though. Like he's done his time elsewhere, you know.
Sure.
Theory was in TNA first.
He was in
right?
he was in Evolve, some other things, but like he rose the ranks there, and he's young as shit too.
He's
But,
like 23, 24.
Waller's way better than Theory on the mic right now. I'll argue that all day.
I would agree with
He's a
you on
better-
that.
I agree with that.
better
I
wrestler.
think I agree with the mic work.
Yeah.
I mean, Theory is like, I think Theory is basically their fucking chiseled WWE wrestler, like what they imagine.
Right.
Well, Theory also can't
sure.
win a match to save his life right now. So like he's got
He
the
keeps
Bryan
getting buried
Danielson.
by Kevin Owens.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
everyone's buried him and clowned him. Like he looks like a clown. I don't know why.
That's the problem with Theory right now. Yeah, like
Well, that's
it's
booking too.
it's the
Exactly.
conundrum that we were talking about last week. He keeps getting shit on and basically drops down in whatever scrutiny or and but at which point when he finally does get to cash in, will we care?
No.
Like
unless it's on Roman.
Well, even then, it's like they've conditioned the audience to not take this guy seriously. Do not give a shit about this guy. He can't win. Everyone embarrasses him. Like what fucking
and I like Theory.
I think he's a great talent.
Yeah.
I think he's being completely misused. Like what? Because Gargano just nutted him with a briefcase not that long ago, and like he did the whole "there's someone at my match," huh?
Right.
Yeah,
And
I mean that's
just
that's WWE 101.
Oh yeah,
distractions all day. I mean, the week before that, Kevin Owens went over clean on him. So
yeah, it's just they did like what 3-4 distraction finishes on that Raw, something like that, because that's all they got.
But as far as back to NXT, okay, I can agree with you that Waller is probably the most ready, but I still don't think anybody is quite ready.
Oh, I think
maybe
Breaker's
Ilya Dragunov or Mustache Mountain, fucking
Mustache Mountain,
fucking big strong boy.
I say bring him up. Far less that we're ready have been brought up. I think he's got the full package. So,
I mean, he's wrestled what? Ziggler, AJ, and Apollo.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're testing him out.
There you go. Let's move on, boys.
Come down and really, test his ability.
Real quick, one thing about NXT: if I never have to see Joe Gacy again, I'll be happy. I hate that guy. His discount Bray Wyatt looking ass. Like,
I don't. I like Joe Gacy.
Man,
you're cult leader factions. That's
you're
just me.
wrong. You don't like him, and I looked it up on your Wikipedia page.
It's not Joe Gacy that I don't like. And maybe it's just because I respect him because he's had a long ass career as well.
Yeah, he's like 2006 or something.
But
like that.
maybe I have never been behind GYV as the dyad.
Dyad. It's called the Dyad. I can't take it seriously. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's, we'll just say this. I mean, it's a little bit of an early reaction. We kind of just got started here with them. I mean, are they even still in their first kind of feud things here, kind of, since the diet has come on? You know
That's
what I mean?
another thing,
They're still trying
too.
to recruit people.
For a while.
They keep trying to recruit people. When's that going to stick?
Cameron's going to join. Watch.
I
got to.
I think that's the one that'll join because.
Well, how many goddamn creepy cult gimmicks do we need in wrestling right now? Does every single
it's all been done a ton. It's all been done a ton. It's just at what variants? I
mean, this. So let's see. We have Death Triangle, Dark Order, the Judgment Day, fucking Dyad.
Yeah.
Who else we got? I know there's more.
Did you say House of Black?
No, I didn't say House of Black.
There we go.
Jesus.
All right, boys, let's move on, man. Let's get to the Dropkick discussion this week. We're talking our top 3 best wrestlers in the world. Let's go, Primo.
Hey guys, this is Mr. Havens, the Argyle assassin himself, giving them all the shivers.
This is the one and only Mike Hartenbauer.
This is Space Jesus Billy Starks.
This is referee Dan Perch.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw. You can address me as yours rudely. And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
You guys are listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
You're listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
Come celebrate pro wrestling right here on the Sit Down Marks podcast.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With Primo, DB, and AJ.
And you're listening to DB, Primo, AJ here on the Sit Down Marks podcast, the best podcast for professional wrestling.
That's when he was Mr. Havens.
That's right. All right, last dropkick discussion of the month of September. We've been doing top fives here in this one, or this one's actually a top three best wrestlers in the world, who we think are the best three. We're going to just be chunking out here who our top three are.
In our opinion. Right.
Yeah, in our opinion, if any of these are the same or if we agree on any of them, feel free to jump in, boys. Anybody want to volunteer to go first? If not, I will.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Michael, just hit all three here, man.
All three at the same time?
All three at the same time, and just kind of highlight each. So,
all right, number one. This is no particular order. We're gonna go with Bryan Danielson.
Okay.
Dude is.
I'm gonna be with you on that one too. He's in my top three.
Yeah, like he is easily one of the best in the world. He's got the technical skills. He's got the promo. He's got the facials. He's got the reaction. He's got every single tool in the box. He can work all different kinds of style matches. He can work with anybody. And, he can do face or heel, and the crowd eat it up like candy. The dude has presence. The dude has command of the room. The fact that he is getting beaten by everybody right now is just unfortunate. So not a whole lot you can do about that. Because, again,
true,
that's booking. That's not Bryan Danielson. Also, dude's a legitimate badass. Could actually twist you into a pretzel if he wanted.
Absolutely.
So there's number one. Number two is a split between Cash Wheeler or Dax Harwood. You might know them better as Primo.
FTR.
There you go.
FTR.
Or Fuck the Revival, as we like to say.
Or the greatest tag team right now.
Ever. Right now.
Right.
Who would be the greatest tag team ever? Anyway, off topic. Yeah, they are incredible. Every match they have is a fucking barn burner. The crowd love them. They're old school, just fucking smart, psychological wrestlers. They can work heel, they can work face. They naturally have gotten over just doing themselves, despite many people's insistence that they shouldn't be because they never get featured.
Right. Let me say this though. This is a top three singles, so I'm gonna make you pick one of the two. You got to take one. Which one you take?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Make it interesting.
I'm inclined to say Dax on this one.
That's what I would agree with that.
Uncle Dax. I go.
Out of those two, yeah.
And that's no disrespect to Cash either. I think Dax is just he's like one step above, right?
I agree.
Yeah, they're both incredible though. I don't know how many people haven't seen FTR versus the Briscoes, but if you have not seen those matches, go watch those goddamn matches. That's just crazy because Dirty, you'll understand this. Mm-hmm. Everyone reacts to FTR versus Briscoes this hallmark match in wrestling. It's that used to be standard shit back in the day.
Sure.
Go watch the Horsemen.
Yeah.
Go watch the Freebirds.
Midnight Express, rock and roll.
Yeah, watch any of these great tag teams. This was standard operating. So they're fucking awesome. They're so good.
Love it.
Number three is a tough one for me because this is a toss-up. It's either between one Becky Lynch or CM Punk. I'm inclined to go with Lynch. And the reason is because she's got the promo. She's got the in-ring work. Fans get behind her no matter what she does. She's got presence. She can command an audience. She can lead. There's not a match type she can't have while having people just eating out of the palm of her hand. She's fantastic.
Fair.
And the only reason I'm putting her above Charlotte, the only reason is because Becky wasn't pushed to the moon and she got over huge. Was at one point maybe in contention for the biggest draw in professional wrestling when she was running the man gimmick as a face. So that's why she'd be above that. CM Punk, he's great. He's had a long career. I'm more interested in see what Becky's going to develop into versus Punk, who's on the back half of his career, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So those are my top three.
Love it. I agree with you. Danielson in my top three as well. Primo, you want to go?
Yeah, we'll go actually from 3 to 1. Starting at my number 3. I love watching this guy anywhere on the card, championship belt or not. I've been like anytime. What do we say? Anytime that he is on a pay-per-view card, we're like, that's going to be the match to watch. And that's fucking Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
I love Seth Rollins. Like, I just love watching him wrestle. And his character work over the past few years has been next level. And we even mentioned last week about how he could probably, if he had to reach in the bag of tricks, he could pull out any of his previous gimmicks, Kingslayer, Beast Slayer, Architect. He even came out this past week and, I am a visionary, all that stuff, which
Sure.
the Messiah, Joker, everything. I am a big fan of Seth Rollins, clearly. And like literally, go back and listen to any of the cards we announced for the pay-per-views. And anytime Seth Rollins match comes up, we're like, fuck, that's going to be like one of the ones to watch. And that's why he's on my list of best in the world right now. Number 2 for me, he is leader of the Bullet Club, Switchblade Jay White.
He's on my list, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I knew he would be. Yes.
Yes.
And I mean, for all the reasons, I'll let you say them, but he's on fire. He has been on fire.
Yeah.
And he is also another fun one to watch, and also excellent promo. He's just been rocking Japan and everywhere else that he's been, North America, all global. He's been globally.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing about him right now is like Jay is global. He's like, he's known in a lot of different promotions, started out, Ring of Honor, went to New Japan, basically took over. I mean, shit, he's the leader of the Bullet Club now. All of his matches are good, I'll say this before, I'll say it again. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be a bad thing to look as good as Jay White does.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's the fucking full package, the last rock and roller, like that fits him. You know what I mean? It fits him. Yeah. He's rock star type material. I think he should be a way bigger star over here in the USA. So
I think that's an exposure thing.
Yeah, definitely is. And, he's just slowly taking his way over. His matches with Omega, his matches with Okada, Tanahashi, Saito, all those guys, man, like just, absolute, just great, great matches. And he, like I said, he's one of those guys, I'm watching him if he's on my TV, and I'd buy a ticket to see him. So for sure.
And my number 1, which may come as a surprise to many, but I'm no hater, and I give credit where credit's due.
Sure.
My number 1 is Bryan Danielson.
All right, there you go.
So, I mean, for all the reasons that both of you mentioned earlier, he is, in my opinion, right now, on top of the world as far as fucking just wrestling and everything else about it. He's freaking awesome, and like I said before, I don't not like Bryan Danielson. So clearly he's number 1 on my list here.
Sure.
But I got to give him his credit. He definitely is just rocking everything he does right now. And he has, I mean, the rumors of him coming to AEW were just hyped to astronomical levels because of the matches that we knew we would be able to finally see, because he's able to do what he gets to do.
Sure.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. A couple of honorable mentions before I get to who my other pick was, other than Jay White and Danielson. I think Roman's in the conversation. Josh Alexander's in the conversation. Charlotte, not active, you know what I mean, but definitely should be in the conversation. Jericho, Okada, Omega, are some people that, I kind of came up as, being right there. But another one that I put in my top three, other than Jay White and Danielson, is another guy that I think is, just lack of exposure. Probably his promo is his weakest game, but I think it's gotten a lot better. But another guy that, I watch on TV, this guy to me is he's like a hybrid, man. He's like kind of like the I feel like he's kind of stepped out of a time capsule from the future. It's Will Ospreay for me. I don't like he's, you know what I mean? I just think
made my list.
If he just got more exposure over here in the United States, it'd be a much bigger deal. Internet, thank God, you can be able to see him wrestle. And I hope he gets more AEW dates, but yes, he's, and he's untraditionally, that's not the type of wrestler that I like, but he's, I'm saying he's that good. So it entertains me because I feel like I'm watching, I talk about this all the time. Side joke. Okay. So, my wife is friends with, Charlotte Flair. I was talking to not Charlotte Flair, but my wife the other day. I was like, her and Andre, El Idolo need to hurry up and get this baby thing going, because the genetic line between these two, I got to see this kid wrestle before I die, right?
Right.
I mean, you know what I mean? The lineage, holy shit, right? Lucha Libre meets Flair chops, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But yeah, so but for me, yeah, just watching Ospreay's another one of those guys that, he's fun to watch, and he's doing some innovative stuff. And like I said, I feel like I'm kind of watching a wrestler from the future, what it's going to look like, long time ago. He's that type of hybrid wrestler. So, real quick, I guess let's read off AJ's picks for his top three here before we hop off this. He has number 3 as obviously AJ Styles. He says can carry a company or put over new talent, so that's why he puts him at number 3. Number 2, he has Roman Reigns. Went from being universally despised because of bad booking to reinventing himself and becoming the best character in years. And number 1, he agrees with us as well, Bryan Danielson. Same reason as AJ, only add that he's the best technical wrestler in the world. So nice top 3 there for AJ too. You can't really argue that. AJ Styles, another guy that could definitely be mentioned in there. So well done, boys.
Yeah, you know what about Roman? He talks about him being universally despised, right? Mm-hmm. And then he had a real life unfortunate another bout with leukemia. Mm-hmm. And when he came back from leukemia, I was like, how's this dude ever going to get booed again?
And
or how's he how's he going to be? How could he possibly be a heel after just returning from fucking cancer?
Mm-hmm.
And well,
right. Never doubt how crappy WWE's booking plans are. they got the returning, conquering cancer beater booed. Right. They got Bailey booed.
Yeah. Oh well, it happens. Well done,
I like our picks. Those are all good picks.
Yeah, honestly, they were very good.
Ospreay is in my top 10. I would agree with you on that one, man. I don't really care for the flippy-do matches, not for me, but you cannot deny how talented that guy is.
For sure.
The only thing I was a little confused about here is Omega, really, for an honorable mention.
Well, I mean, I'm just looking over a span of, time, basically. I'm me, this is probably my fault, and I could dial this back. I always tend to look at his career more of what happened over New Japan. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it still feels to me, especially since he's kind of been in and out, like he's an AEW guy, but like it doesn't, and he was the champion, of course, but it doesn't, like it still feels like he's a New Japan guy to me. And always will.
But this list is right now.
It's true. Yeah. So, but I mentioned Charlotte too. She's been inactive.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's
so,
true.
You know, so I was, saying that's kind
of. But all the blowers that did make the list are right now.
For sure. So next week, guys, we're going to start off October with our top 5 scariest gimmicks of all time to get our October Halloween fest started. So what we think is the top 5 scariest gimmicks. So
fucking gobbledygooker.
That's right. So that's going to do it for Dropkick discussion of the week, boys. It's time to play a little game, man. Let's do Last Man Standing. Primo, hit that game show music, brother. All right, so today we're going to play a little game. AJ is not with us. He is the current Last Man Standing champion, but we're going to sidestep and just have a little grudge match here today between Primo and Maggle. So this is how this thing works. Last Man Standing, I give the boys a category. They name as many things as they can from that category. Last Man Standing wins the match. So here today, I'm coming up with a category, boys. If I can stand back, let me see those arms crossed here. I'm going to give you guys the category, and I'm going to give you about 10 seconds to think about this one, okay? All right. This one can be a little difficult, can not be a little difficult. So, all right. So what we're talking here today, guys, I need you guys to name for me titles that Shawn Michaels has won. Championship titles that Shawn Michaels has won. You know, all the way from when he started all the way up to now. You can, some of these you can differentiate between WWF and WWE. Michael, you are the guest on today's pod. We're going to let you go first, man. Championship titles, Shawn Michaels has won.
Well, it's going to start with the obvious WWE heavyweight. Or WWF heavyweight, sorry.
Going WWF heavyweight, correct. He was 3-time champ. Primo?
The WWF European Championship.
This is correct. He was a 1-time champion.
And he gave it to Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Yep.
WWF IC champion.
Of course, 3-time champ.
The WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Correct. 1-time champ.
Elimination Chamber. Brown pants.
Brown pants.
The brown pants.
Nice call.
Does it? Okay, real quick, clarifying question.
Sure.
You said title, right?
Yeah,
or
so that
belt.
could be.
Which one?
Well, it could be when he was in a tag, any championship, any belt, title, championship, anything that he's won.
Anything he's won.
That he's held, yes.
You're talking about, like, I know what you're thinking.
Yeah, I know you know what I'm thinking.
I don't think he's thinking that.
Don't overthink it. No, this is yeah.
All right.
I mean, we're about to get to the nitty gritty, so
I mean, you can say, okay. You could say it, but it's not. Whether if you don't count that as it, then I know what he's thinking though.
If this doesn't count, then just tell me. I'll name a different one. Okay, Dirty.
Go.
Royal Rumble winner.
No.
Okay,
No.
So he did with the Rockers win the WWF tag belts once, but it was rescinded later because it was won on a house show.
This is correct. So it's not technically in the books, but yes, he did win the title and they rescinded it. Yep, that's one.
He also won the WWE Tag Team Championship with both John Cena and Triple H.
And Stone Cold and Diesel twice.
Yeah.
This is correct.
This is going to be a shot. I don't know if this is how accurate this is. I want to say NWA tag.
This is correct with Marty Jannetty.
We named all the popular ones.
Most of them.
Yeah. Give me a moment.
Sure. You got to start digging now before he made the big time.
I mean, I'm sure there's some fucking Texas heavyweight shit in there. Dallas Sportatorium shit. Fuck, I'm totally shooting in the dark here. Let's call it the Texas Tag Team Championship.
That is correct. He was
my
Texas
God.
Tag Team champion.
What was the name of the promotion on that one?
It was
Was it just called?
It was Texas Championship Wrestling is what it was. Or Texas Wrestling Alliance was what it's also called.
Okay. That was just for my own prosperity because that was going to drive me crazy. I was like, was it the North Texas Alliance?
That's what I was thinking. I almost said North Texas. Yeah.
We're only down to a couple here, so.
God, we're just shooting in the dark at this point, aren't we?
Yes.
Georgia Championship Tag.
Incorrect.
Damn it!
Primo, if you can name one more, man, you're the winner today.
Slammy Award winner.
Sexiest boy of sexy boys winner.
He was a Slammy Award winner, but that doesn't fall in this category, though. There's still two kind of obvious ones out there that yeah.
He wasn't the hardcore champion, was
That's
he?
exactly what I was saying. He was not the hardcore champion.
He was not. There's only one in the big time that you guys left out. The rest of them was in his earlier career.
European, I see both worlds mentioned, both tags mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Give us a moment.
The intergender was Memphis. That wasn't WWE.
Nope. All right, 10 seconds.
Wasn't hardcore belt.
I mean, I haven't been wrong, so technically I win.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, I'm conceding at that point.
He didn't win a TV title or a U.S. title.
No, TV was WCW.
That's what I'm
saying. So
saying.
was US, and he was never in WCW.
Right.
All right, let's go. Give me an answer.
Did he work for Crockett?
5 seconds. All right, time's up. He was the AWA Tag Team title with Marty Jannetty.
Fuck!
I almost said
I was going to say that instead of GCW. God damn it.
Also AWA Southern Tag Team titles, Texas 6-man titles, and then Texas Wrestling Alliance champion. Heavyweight champion, basically.
So we could have said, yeah.
Yep.
I was debating between
I was on the right track
AWA.
with the Texas stuff.
Yeah, you were going Texas.
All right, I'm going to declare no winner today.
No, Primo's got it. He's got this one. That's.
It's the first last man standing where I didn't repeat something that was already said.
Bonus question, boys, real quick.
All right,
how many Slammy Awards did Shawn Michaels win? Give me a number, real quick.
3.
Way higher.
5.
Really?
Way higher.
Okay, way higher? I'm going to say 13 then.
Oh, very close. Michael?
14.
15. 15 Slammy Awards.
How many times was he Wrestler of the Year in WWE? Once?
Or for
Not sure about that one.
1997 Wrestler of the Year?
Yep. Not sure.
How many stars has he received in his championship matches?
5.5. If he was in Japan, that's a Tokyo Dome.
If it's at the Tokyo Dome, he's got 400 in one match.
All right, that's going to do it for the drop kick. I mean, not drop kick. Last man standing, boys.
That was a fun one, though.
There.
Well done, Primo. Well done.
Well done to you as well, sir.
All right, well done. All right, Primo, tell me that it's time to close the show.
Well, DB, it is now time to close the show.
This is the one and only Mike Hartenbauer. You guys are listening to Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
And Michael.
And Michael today. Remind everybody we're live every Wednesday. If you're watching us right now on YouTube, we are the Sit Down Marks. Just go on YouTube, search Sit Down Marks, and you'll see us come up there each and every Wednesday. And also our audio version of the pod will drop every Thursday right after the
number one
sports show, also on SportsWire Radio every Friday. Don't forget to give us a 5-star review. If you love the pod, tell your friends. Thank you guys so much for doing that. I think that's really helping. And also let you guys know that we have merch, www.tpublic.com/stores/sit-down-marks. That's tpublic.com/stores/sit-down marks. Primo, you got that preview. What's going on next week?
Come on in close, baby. Come talk to Primo for the preview of next week. Next week, we hit October with our WWE Extreme Rules predictions and all of the latest, of course. DB and AJ will get ready for an awesome weekend of wrestling as they will be attending St. Louis Anarchy and then back to work at Dreamwave Wrestling for their Halloween show. So they will go over those cards next weekend. All right. Dropkick discussion of the week will be our top 5 scariest gimmicks of all time. Gobbledygooker won't be on there. To start us off in my favorite season, spooky season. Spooky. Lastly, it's time to play Squared Circle questions once again, but Halloween theme this time.
Did you write that in the format?
Thank you for coming and hang out with us.
Oh,
that was good. I like that.
All right, Primo, let's talk some headlines here real quick before we go. What you got? I know Buddy Matthews is taking a break. I've seen that.
Yes. Also, he cleared some things up. He has not been suspended. He's just been out in Australia or whatever.
Gotcha.
He's one of the ones that listen to our podcast.
Oh, appreciate it, buddy.
Over there. So,
attaboy.
Also, multiple sources have reported throughout the week that CM Punk potentially may never wrestle for AEW again.
I could totally see this. Definitely.
And my question for you guys is this fact or fiction, and will it stick? And also, is the money that they make off of CM Punk worth the drama that it brings to the company?
I don't think it's Punk that brought the drama. I think it's the little shithead EVPs. CM Punk shows up, and then he starts working with all these young talent that they go out and say he's been nothing but a huge boon to the locker room. He's helped them out, blah, blah, blah. Then you have Bobby Fish come out and is like, I totally sandbagged him. It's like, fuck you, dude. And then you have Colt Cabana's whole nonsense who wasn't being used at all on TV. Then the Young Bucks are like, he got Colt fired. No, Colt got himself fired for sucking. He's not good, and he wasn't being used. And then they go storming into his locker room. Seriously?
Yeah.
You guys, I don't give a shit if you're pissed off and you're athletes and you actually were badass, which these 3 chuckle fucks aren't. You are executive vice presidents of this company. What the fuck are you doing? So, no, I don't think CM Punk will wrestle for this company again as long as Omega and the Jacksons are still there. I don't think that's going to happen. He doesn't need to. He doesn't care. He doesn't need the money.
I was going to say, I just feel like he could probably, Tony would be like, all right, just go away. We'll just go away and go back to kind of what we were doing before or whatever. But I don't know. I feel like he's kind of worth the drama because, shit, you just had him in, your top wrestlers in the world. He's kind of worth it. Kind of worth it a little bit to me.
The guy, since he's been back, has had 2 people go into business for themselves in the ring on national TV on him.
Yeah.
Primo, can you imagine if you were CM Punk? And first of all, Bobby Fish no-sells your finisher and gives you nothing in a match and then is bragging about it later publicly. And then Hangman Page does his little dumb shit. I'm surprised Punk didn't punch him in the fucking mouth on TV, knowing how Punk is. Like, so, you know what? That's just the thing. Like, AEW, it just seems like more and more stories come out about how goddamn insanely cliquey that place is. Like, we were just talking about FTR being the best tag team in the world earlier. And just all of a sudden, oh no, the Bucks can't wrestle you in that rubber match for the titles. Yeah. What a weird coincidence. So, no, man, no, I could see Punk. Okay, well, let me ask you guys this. Say Punk does go away. The AEW crowd's smart. They're smartened up. They know what's going on. The Jacksons can never wrestle there again because you fucking took Punk away from us.
They're going to get booed like hell in Chicago, aren't they?
Good, yeah. Like, you would talk about actual fucking heat. Like,
right. Real heat.
Also, the Bucks and Omega star is diminishing. It's going away. Like, when Omega came back, no one seemed to really give a shit.
Yeah, it has. What else you got, Primo?
Well, speaking of AEW, via PW Insider, AEW Battle of the Belts 4 will no longer be airing the same day as Extreme Rules, which would have been Saturday, October 8th. Instead, it is now to be aired as a live special on Friday, October 7th at 10 p.m. following a live Rampage with a special start time of 9 p.m.
Very cool.
Yep, I almost bought tickets to that today because it's in DC.
Oh, nice.
But then I was like, what if I always have this thing with wrestling events, and it's actually not just take that back, not just wrestling events, sporting events in general.
Mm.
It's objective about whether or not you feel you get your money's worth.
Sure.
And I'm a cheapskate, so that's why I didn't buy tickets.
So I like the honesty.
Get to the real reason. Yeah, right. Let's get to the real reason.
So, due to Hurricane Ian, WWE has postponed this weekend's NXT live events.
Yeah, Florida's getting destroyed.
And lastly, this one's kind of semi-interesting to me, at least. I just may not be a lick of interest to you guys, but the lawsuit over Randy Orton's tattoos is officially underway in Illinois. As of Monday, September 26th, Catherine Alexander has filed a lawsuit against WWE, Take-Two Interactive Software, 2K Games, 2K Sports, Visual Concepts Entertainment, and Ukes, which are all like video game companies. Mm-hmm. The lawsuit, initially filed in April 2018, alleges that all of Alexander's tattoo work on WWE star Randy Orton are her own original designs that she alone owns the rights to. She copyrighted them. Alexander is suing, claiming that the defendants have all infringed on her copyrights and that she has never given any of the defendants permissions to recreate them in WWE licensed video games. To be clear, she is not filing a lawsuit on Randy Orton, but WWE and these gaming companies. Also, there's a clause there about whether or not it'll stick because they're literally on Randy Orton's body. So it's like, whatever's the law is about entitlement, if it's on your person, I don't even know. I'm not going to pretend like I know what that's about, but it's pretty interesting. All in all, we'll see how that pans out, but that's going on all this week in Illinois.
I'm going to just say America. It's almost
right. It's a lawsuit over tattoos.
Fucking stupid, man. The hell?
I mean, honestly, if WWE wasn't so litigious about their shit being displayed without their permission, I'd have a problem with this one. But
yeah,
how the worm turns.
And what's funny is AJ has mentioned as of 2 seconds ago that she copyrighted them. So pay the lady. I mean, she was the smart one to copyright them. And who knows? I don't know what the date of the copyrights are. I'm sure that's in the lawsuit, but maybe she didn't copyright them until after video games started coming out, and she was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm not getting paid for this. Let me go ahead and jump on this before anybody else does."
Yeah, they can't put Randy Orton in a video game without paying him. Why should they be able to put her artwork in there?
Right. So, Yeah, it's just an interesting thing. It's pretty cool. Like you said, America.
Yeah,
So,
it'd be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah.
Like, I have no stake in the game either way.
Unfortunately, what it could lead to is in the future WWE having these like generic ass models with like no, like it's gonna be less personable, I guess.
I mean, they should fix their gameplay before they worry about that shit. But
Right.
Sorry, 2K, your games aren't that good anymore.
All the wrestlers won't have any tattoos.
They're gonna be bare armed and everything.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
All right,
that's
anything
it
else?
for headlines for September 28th. Real quick, we don't really do birthdays anymore, but I do have to do one birthday shout out. That is to my older brother. Happy birthday tomorrow on September 29th. So
happy birthday!
He gets mistaken quite often for Kevin Owens in real life. That's not a joke. He really does. So it's pretty funny, and his birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, man!
All right, Michael, good to see you again, brother. Thank you for hanging out with us and showing up. I guess we'll see you again next month for sure. Hope all is well. Glad the move went well. Thank you for offering bestowing your brilliance, your wrestling brilliance upon us all today. So I acknowledge you, my tribal chief.
I really enjoy your alternate perspectives for sure.
Well, I appreciate that. It's always good to be able to actually talk some wrestling with someone else that's not my cat. So, because no one else wants to listen to me go on rants about, like, booking decisions. It's like, shut up, man. No one cares. But, yeah, always great to talk to you guys. Thanks for having me back on.
Absolutely. Primo, good to see you, brother. AJ will be back with us next week. Michael, swerve, baby. Take us home today, Daddy.
As I was shoveling the dirt on top of my brother's body in our last match of a buried alive, who could withstand the other? As the last scoops were going on, he reached his hands out and he said, through the dirt, tell them my last words. And I said, make it quick, old man, because I ain't got time for you. And he said, with his dying breath, grab them cakes.
Oh, grab them cakes. Oh, what's all you do?
So, Michael, when you and AJ are out in public, do y'all get mistaken for like the Harris brothers?
No, people actually don't think we're related, even though we tell them we're related and we look and sound exactly alike.
Even if you're in like full biker gimmick, like from the 90s?
Oh, yeah. For
sure.
We, last time I was in town, I went to the bar AJ works at, and someone that works there knows for a fact we are related and still didn't believe us. It's like, we've had people ask us before, like, hey, so you're related? I'm like, yeah, we're brothers. She's like, forever? I was like, yeah, that's kind of how it works. Like,
right.
We just decided yesterday.
Oh, no, yeah. we just look and sound exactly alike.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't claim that piece of shit. Fuck him. He ain't here, so fuck him.